The WrestleMania 41 main event wound up leaving the show as kind of with a lame duck finish. And I want to discuss a few things here because the WrestleMania 41 main event did a lot of damage, I think, to the character of Cody Rhodes. I want to explain to you why here on this video. I think it actually made me less excited for the John Cena run, even though the angle on Monday that he cut where he's counting down the dates and then Randy Orton RKO'd him, I enjoyed that. And I did enjoy the whole clickbait thing, that little thing he did at the press conference. I enjoyed that. But besides that, there are things I'm not looking forward to now. And a lot of folks seem to be blaming The Rock. And The Rock certainly, I think, is to blame for some of this. I think the issue with the main event goes beyond The Rock. So The Rock was there for the Elimination Chamber, and after that turn, people were saying it was the greatest heel turn of all time, and I was the one who was telling people, hey, no, we need to see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. The angle itself was fine. It's more so the follow-up. For something to be the greatest heel turn of all time, it has to mean something. It has to lead to something. And ultimately, even if the rest of John Cena's run turns out great, WrestleMania 41 is the big platform, and the majority of people that I've talked to and the majority of discourse I've seen has been disappointment in various aspects. So the original creative was to have Cena turn at WrestleMania. That's actually what I said they should have done back on January the 6th, which is you have Cena not necessarily join up with The Rock, but eventually do something dastardly to win his 17th title. So he goes into the match as a babyface and slowly descends into madness because he can't beat Cody Rhodes. And I thought they were going to do something like that here, although in this version of the story, he's already a heel. So the match started off slow, and what I was expecting to see was Cody out-wrestling Cena rather easily, not necessarily beating him up, but just sort of outclassing him, and then Cena, little by little, doing heelish things in the match, pulling the hair, pulling the tights, grabbing the ropes behind the referee's back. I wanted heel John Cena to bust out classic heel maneuvers, things we've seen heels do to get heat throughout the years, sort of as maybe a tribute to the past, but also part of the story. And Cody, of course, keeps bringing it to him. I thought that John Cena took way too much offense in the match, and that already made Cody look bad. Cena is obviously not by any means a weak person. Nobody's saying that. But Cody is in the prime of his career. Cody was able to defeat Roman Reigns, who seemed unbeatable for a long time, for the championship, and has been able to overcome guys in their prime. So for John Cena to come in and look so good without even doing that much cheating, I think the only time that Cena should have gotten the advantage is after doing something slimy. Something slimy. Now, that's not exactly how they played it up, but they should have. Now, besides that, the finish, Travis Scott taking forever to get to the ring. People cheered when the music played because they thought it was going to be The Rock. Turns out they didn't get The Rock. The Rock was in Hawaii. We're going to talk more about The Rock later. But the reason as to why Cody looks like an idiot is because, number one, when John Cena hit him in the balls at Elimination Chamber and then made him bleed with the World Heavyweight, with the Undisputed Heavyweight title, and with the watch that belonged to his dad, at that point, Cody Rhodes should have been so angry that the minute he saw John Cena, he would try to put his hands on him. And I talked about this on the KLB live show, and there were people saying that that's uncharacteristic of Cody. No, it is not uncharacteristic of Cody. We have seen Cody Rhodes do this. We have seen every top babyface do this. If a heel attacks you first, leaves you bloody with your father's watch, and you just want to come out and have a conversation, what is this, ballet? Did we forget this is pro wrestling? Did we forget what sport we're watching here, bro? Like, is that gonna... So that right there already bugged me. But by week 3, Cody was able to get something back on Cena. So I thought, okay, they're gonna course correct it a bit. Fine. Like, I can get past that. Here at WrestleMania, obviously John Cena warned Cody on SmackDown, which I knew was going to play up into this match, that the only way you're going to beat me is if you let go of pleasing them. Them, of course, being the people, the fans. He's saying the only way you're going to really make it, you're going to really be able to beat me, is to go to where you don't want to go. Which, this is a very similar story that John Cena was actually in a few years ago. Actually, a while ago, but they have done this before. And then, of course, we have the spot in the match where Cody has the title, and he's got the ability to whack Cena with it. And what does he do? Not only does he not hit him, because listen, man, it's a world title match. John Cena already hit you in the balls and left you bloody. You deserve to give him his receipt. He deserves to pay for what he has done to you. John Cena is a heel. In fact, a super heel. He sold out to The Rock. You should hit him. And not only does Cody not hit him, he looks away from John Cena. He looks down and to the right. Go back and watch it. Why would you lower your eyes to an opponent? How can somebody with the experience of Cody Rhodes, who has been in there with all the top heels, who has been in there wrestling for over a decade, how could somebody with that level of experience, the one baby face that WWE has managed to book well in the past few years, who actually comes off like a smart baby face, not a dumb baby face like the kind WWE always book during the Vince era, how are you going to turn away from John Cena? Of course you got hit in the balls. Cena was waiting for you to turn away, and then bam, he got you. That makes Cody look like an idiot. And they're going to sit there and justify it and say, well, I had a moment of, I had a moment, a temporary lapse in judgment when I looked away, this and that. No, that's dumb. John Cena has already been a heel now for several weeks, almost 2 months. John Cena has cut promos on Cody. John Cena has beaten up Cody, left him bloody. John Cena has done more than enough for Cody to understand that this is not somebody who's going to be redeemed right now in storyline. But hey, you could have also thrown the belt away with your hand while still looking at your opponent face to face. Why would you turn away from your opponent who's standing right in front of you? It's not like Cena was down or he was, outside the ring. He was right in front of him. This makes Cody look stupid. You can't blame The Rock for this. You have to blame whomever put this match together and Cody himself for agreeing to do it like this, because it did not help. And they completely left Cody off of Raw. Maybe he'll be on SmackDown this week. I assume he will. So all of that stuff you cannot blame Rock for. But what you can, maybe in a way you can, because The Rock needed to be there. I was told that Ariel Helwani did not like the main event, criticized it, and I haven't watched the video yet, but I did see the video pop up in my feed where he said The Rock needed to be there, and I agree. I am done with The Rock. Every time The Rock shows up now, he has to come in there. Let's go back to last year. He came in, he tried to screw up the Cody run with Roman Reigns. That's what really happened, because they still haven't explained in universe or even out of why Cody stepped down and let The Rock take his spot before Cody took it back the next week. They still haven't done that. And The Rock was pretty much just showed up to ruin what they had going. And they pivoted, as they said so many times. The Rock reinvented himself as the final boss and gave us some tremendous television. It was great. The Rock gets a clean pinfall win over Cody Rhodes, setting himself up as a potential challenger. The night after WrestleMania 40, he has that long back and forth with Cody and says, you might be done with Roman, but you're not done with me. So then we're like, okay, so the Cody Rock match will happen sometime later in the year, SummerSlam or some other pay-per-view. Then it gets reported that no, it's going to happen at WrestleMania. Along comes Bad Blood. Cody and Roman work together to win over the bloodline. Out comes The Rock to remind us that he still has a storyline with Roman Reigns and Cody. Okay, fair enough. At this point, I'm still thinking Rock versus Cody is going to happen at some point. Like, maybe it's not going to be at WrestleMania, but they have that match in their back pocket. So we'll see it. Then along comes the first Raw from Netflix, and all of a sudden, Rock is putting over Cody. He's calling him a great champion, and we have all of the past, 9-10 months just erased, and suddenly now The Rock likes Cody and they're friends. They're on Instagram sharing alcoholic beverages. Okay. And I did a whole video about it. The Rock killed any momentum he had for the Cody match. Then The Rock comes back on SmackDown and does this whole Emperor thing where he wants Cody's soul. Now, at first, I did not understand this. I was still very confused. And once again, they acknowledged that Cody and Rock had become friends. This apparently happened off screen. There was no hint to this. There was no promo from Cody saying otherwise. There was nothing from Cody even the night of Bad Blood. There was nothing. Which is how you know that wasn't the original plan. Because there was no foreshadowing. WWE has been very good about foreshadowing stuff. Now everything seems to be back to how it was during the Vince era, where shit just happens and it changes because The Rock wanted to change. That's what's going on, yo. Don't sit there and think I'm crazy. I'm not saying it's as bad as when Vince was around, but The Rock's doing the same thing. He just shows up. They have to scramble to change the show, move matches off the show, change stuff around. Remember, before The Rock showed up, they were building a solo Cody match at some point. Not saying it would have been on pay-per-view, but that was a storyline they were going to go to that just got dropped. It's like when Vince would wake up and tear up the script and start over. It's the same thing. So Rock wants Cody's soul. We then kind of figure out that he means, sell out to The Rock. Cody at Elimination Chamber tells him no. John Cena sells out. He ends up being the heel that joins up with The Rock. And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to see the two-man power trip. We're going to see Rock and Cena in vignettes together. We're going to see, even if they can't be at the building, The Rock will send something in on his phone. Cena will send something in. We'll have vignettes. Some way to progress the story. Not only does The Rock not appear, he's not even mentioned until week 3. When Cody tells Cena that he sold out to The Rock, right? Again, no Rock on any of the television. Rock posts on Instagram that he's in Hawaii. People have done that before. They want to throw people off by saying, no, I'm not going to be there, and then they're actually there. Jordan Grace did it. I think Becky Lynch might have actually done it at one point. People were like, whatever, there's no way The Rock won't be at WrestleMania. He wasn't in the build to WrestleMania, which I think hurt the build because he was the trigger point. He was the catalyst for Cena to turn heel. He was the guy who, I would presume off screen, promised John Cena what he was going to give Cody, right? That's what we assume, right? The storyline kind of doesn't make any sense. I mean, what would have happened if Cena didn't win the Chamber? Like, there's just a lot of questions that are unanswered here, right? There's a lot of unanswered questions. There's a lot of things that don't make any sense that could have been made, could make sense if they were actually explained. even if it was by The Rock. But every time someone criticizes The Rock, or any time the fans turn on him, or he gets social media crap, he has to say the same bullshit. Oh, let The Rock take you on a journey. You just be patient. Let The Rock take you on a journey. Basically, and Triple H too, let's wait and see how this plays out. But dude, you can't keep saying that and then not delivering. You just can't. And you can't be the trigger point for a heel turn and then just not show up even at WrestleMania. So I don't blame the people for thinking he was going to show up at Mania. I thought so too. I thought the reason as to why The Rock wasn't mentioned on television was because they wanted people to say, oh, when The Rock came out at Mania, oh, there he is. Kind of like to subdue everybody's expectations and then surprise them with The Rock. But instead there was Travis Scott, who is not The Rock. Yeah, he might have his own following. Most wrestling fans, whether they like his music or not, do not care about Travis Scott being involved in wrestling angles. But they do care about The Rock being involved. And he was very involved in this. He doesn't even show up to help John Cena screw Cody. Because then if he did that, then we could eventually have that Cody Rock match, or at least have Cody get his vengeance on John Cena, thereby getting his vengeance on Rock simultaneously, and it would mean more. And I do still think that Cody will beat Cena later in the year. But still, I'm very irritated by this, and I think The Rock is to blame for a lot of this. Not everything. The Rock should have been there. The finish would have been less flat, but the finish itself was dumb. It made Cody look bad. The match itself, I thought, could have been worked a lot better. It was strange psychology going in, and The Rock can't be blamed for that. But if it was a situation where The Rock shows up to help Cena win, that would only make sense because of what happened at the Elimination Chamber and the original turn, the original John Cena turn. Travis Scott was not the one that tempted Cody. The Rock was. Dewey was. So, yeah, what a mess. What a mess, dude. I think I speak for a lot of people. I don't want to see The Rock anymore. Unless The Rock's actually going to go in there and wrestle Cody Rhodes, every time he comes back, he has to disrupt stuff. And Triple H might never admit it, but he's obviously meddling in the creative, because I think had Cena gone heel at WrestleMania and not the show before, it would have probably worked out better. But I can't say that for sure because the match still had its issues without The Rock. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying The Rock can be blamed for the storyline falling flat, but the match itself is on Cena and on Cody, and I don't think Cena's even quote unquote too old to go. I don't think he is. I think Cena can go. I mean, we saw him go in the Chamber. He did fine in the Rumble. What's going on? So anyways, those are my thoughts. Feel free to leave yours in the comments. Take care.